All right, so these are the tips for easier bending. As you're bending down to pick up your little one or toys off the floor or whatever. So talking about letting all of our joints move, all right? So that's our hips from the hip crease right here in our pocket, letting those knees respond when our hips move, but also this motion of the ankles is really key. And a lot of us are gonna lock the legs, right? So that makes it hard to really bend if we're not letting our ankles go. So you can find that by rocking, right? Letting the weight come out of the heels, now out of the toes. All right, making sure that you're doing that. All right, so then as we're bending, sometimes we want to take a wider stance so we have room for our pelvis to swing. We're gonna first ignore what we're picking up, right? Because sometimes the temptation is just to go right to it, and that puts tension in our bodies. So we're gonna just land here, feel our heels on the floor, and then I'm gonna use this seesaw motion of my head and pelvis to pick something up. So I'm gonna let that nod of the head happen, which lets my pelvis respond, and I pick something up, and then I just unfold the joints to come up. Now let's say I have my baby here. The temptation is to respond to that heavy thing by doing this. So obviously we're gonna get like a little bit of tension here in the back, lower back, locking the legs, and some tension in the shoulders. So I'm asking us maybe if we can to use this hinging of the pelvis action, right, to just bring us a little bit further back to counter the weight in front. Use your pelvis here, all right? And now just as much as we can, not gripping, but letting the arms rest on the baby or the object, and just keeping a little bit of freedom in the hips and the ankles rather than locking down. It's still gonna be challenging, but there's a lot of stuff you can play with.